So we should be able to get this game underway finally, and these teams should be fairly warmed up at this stage, because while there's been tech issues on, most of the players have been kind of just on a map in a warm-up, so essentially playing deathmatch. So we should have some fairly warmed up players. So I think like in that very first map today, we saw on Dust 2, maybe a couple of the players weren't really quite awake yet, still kind of getting into the flow of things. I don't think that'll be as much of a factor in this one.
No, I think these guys are going to be well warmed up. Obviously, we have side stations, we have warm-up stations for them, so they'll definitely be prepared for this game, as we are going to go into the knife round. We will see who is going to take it and be able to choose sides. I said I'd prefer CT to start with. You might favour the T side, so we will see when one of these teams, does win this knife round.
Yeah, we certainly will, but I'm not going to cast over the knife round. I have to catch myself sometimes. I go into auto cast mode, but
as we see the players dancing around.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit too much chaos really to cast it properly, but this certainly should be an interesting one. In terms of round difference, Reason Gaming do have the higher seed. Obviously, they are the second seed. Up against Infused is the third seed, but you know, when we had a three-way tie between these two and United Estonia. That's how close this entire group stage was, and like that's how we've got here today with the seeding that we have, is just purely off score difference. So realistically, I don't think the seed is... I don't think we can take it too heavily. I think it's a very evenly matched set between these two teams, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, because we are going to be able to kick this game off. But yeah, I definitely think this should be a good match. Now the game finally about to begin. So now I actually wasn't really looking on who won the knife round. It was Infused. So they've picked the terrorist side by the looks of things. What do you reckon of like picking the terrorist side? Because what me and Jackie were saying about it earlier was it's kind of, you pick the terrorist side if you want to set the pace of the game.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to be aggressive, get in their face and really just kind of put yourself in the shoes and the advantage, that's when you want to pick terrorist side, and just you're basically saying, look, we're the better side, we are confident in our play, and we're just going to take as many rounds as we can, and then setting the pace for you. Yeah, you're completely right. It's just about kind of setting the pace for the game.
Certainly is. What's still going on, but fingers crossed the players will be ready very shortly for you guys. We'll be able to actually kick things off, but we'll have to wait and see for that one. To be honest, we've kind of talked a lot about some of these players individually, but I definitely think there are some players we've not really touched on as much. Players like Batham, for example, or Bath on the scoreboard there on the left. I think Batham very much could be one of the key factors in this game for a reason. Obviously, he's a player that really can step up to the mark, but he's also one of those players that sometimes we don't really see as much out of him as maybe we would.
I mean, in week 6 when they beat UE, he went absolutely nuts, and he was, well, most definitely the star player in that game. So I'm definitely going to be watching out for him and seeing what he can do. He's a great rifle player, and I'd expect him to kind of be holding that B site, but we will see where these kind of players do like to situate themselves, and you often find that players do have T or CT preference from when they are playing, and you'll see them at opposite side of the scoreboard. Sometimes someone who's perhaps not good CT player, they'll only have a few kills, but then you get to that T side round, and that's when they really start to dominate the scoreboard, as we are finally going to get this game underway.
We certainly are. It's going to be Infused on this terrorist side up against Reason Gaming, who are going to be on that CT side. And here we go. Looks like the B push to kick things off, but obviously the bomb way back at the kind of the A side of the map, but not wanting to commit to anything just yet. And this kind of diagonal split down the map from these terrorists as they just watch their different angles and maybe look for a pick or two, or at very least just some information. It's only going to be Weber towards the A site for Reason Gaming, so just sticking with one defender over there, and I think they're fairly confident that it is going to be a B side push to kick things off.
I mean, especially in the pistol round, you will see pushing towards that B side being a familiar thing, but I mean, it looks like Infused were just kind of waiting with that bomb, and they perhaps just trying to fake it, and now they might go towards A even. They were just probably trying to get a bit of information, see if there were people at B, but now it does look like Reason are going to get slightly aggressive. Kita's going to see if he can get any information as he is now pushing into these B halls, the A halls, sorry. And he will look towards mid, and he might be able to catch some of these Infused players off guard.
Here we go, the push begins. Jenko going to be the point man as they push on through, but Reason has already been tagged down to 5 HP, and it's going to be a trade. 2 going the way of Infused, though. It's going to be Lumji and Jenko finishing off a couple more players. There's only 2 CTs remaining as the bomb has been planted. It's down to Connor and Batham. Connor already with a kill under his belt, and Batham looking for the headshot. Can't quite connect, though. Finally gets that man, and now suddenly it's 2 versus 2. The terrorists are down to barely any HP as Connor is going to be here to help out his teammate. Just a couple of bullets will be enough to seal this round for Reason. As the bullets fly, it's going to be Red Snake peeking once more, but he can't finish it off. Connor steps up. We were saying Connor is the player to watch. He's the newbie on the squad. He's the one that's the first time at LAN, but he gets 4 kills to open this tournament.
Fantastic work from Connor and Batham there, just really like doubling up and making sure someone was watching whilst they went for the defuse. It's the kind of plays you need. You need that player to step up, especially Batham getting that initial pistol kill. If he had gone down there, it would have been extremely difficult for Connor to make anything from that round. But Infused, they'll be a bit annoyed, really. They had a 4v2 situation going on to A site, so they would have perhaps needed better after plant positions. But they have brought up some Tech 9s here, and they will look towards pushing B site this time. But we saw last round that's where they were heading, and they did kind of reverse on themselves, heading towards A.
Well, Reason now with the advantage. As you can see, a couple of SMGs coming into play as well as a couple of M4s. So they're feeling very comfortable in this round. And once more that Tech 9 buy has come through, but the push is already underway. Reason caught with his pants down, didn't have his SMG out, and will get shut down because of it. The Tech 9's obviously going to do great work, and Lumji finds one with that SMG that he managed to pick up. Keita coming in from behind, and it's going to be a teammate following him as well, trying to give him some support. It's going to be Connor with the M4, but Dream manages to trade out Keita, and now suddenly there's just 2 CTs remaining. They've still got a lot of work to do. Connor finds yet another one with that M4. He is just on fire so far in this game, and if he can keep this up, he might just win this game for his team single-handedly. Here we go, Weber pushing in towards this B site now, but they're running out of time. If they want to make this happen, it's got to go just about now. But Weber deciding that this is not a fight that he can take anymore, will back away. Connor's holding on to that M4 as well. And it looks like the decision is to hold on to these weapons. Weber gets a nice little headshot to finish the round off, but Connor gets his M4 taken away from him at the last second. That is bad news for Reason Gaming, and Infused, they're going to tie things up.
A lot to say about Connor as well. He was kind of holding that drop down with M4, and as soon as he saw players pushing, dropping into the drop down, he backed off towards mid doors and allowed Infused to push onto the site. And really, I would have liked for him to have just like held his own there and trying to at least get 1 or 2 picks. Instead, he backed off, went to mid. Yes, okay, he got 1 kill there from mid doors, but then he was just in a position where he couldn't take down anyone that was on the site. Fantastic push from Infused, though. Very confident play, dropping into drop down. It does look like there is going to be a shotgun picked up by Connor now. He's saying, look, I let you into drop down before, but this time I'm going to hold a nice close range weapon to make sure there is no one getting through past my sights.
Absolutely, but Team Infused on the attack have got plenty of firepower to work with. 4 AKs and an M4. Very comfortable in that situation as Batham looks to try and find the kill with the Deagle, but he's just not able to connect those shots, unfortunately. And Lumji just going to smoke that one off in the end. And this is kind of the play style that I fully expected coming into Cobble. This very slow, calculated pushes coming out from the T's. You don't really want to... The thing about Cobblestone is it's very punishing. If you get caught out, if you lose your first push, it's very difficult to kind of regain control of bomb because there's so many corners to check. There's so many odd angles that you have to be watching out for. And looks like the rotation over towards this B site is going to be the call from Infused. And there's a couple more players rotating over towards A for Reason. This is actually looking like a pretty good situation for Infused if they can go for this site now.
Yeah, they just need to kind of group up together. If they've got any flashes, they do have some grenades to work with actually, and then they will be able to push into the site. Batham is going to be there to try and hold his own with the CZ, but he will get taken down by Jenko as now Infused will move onto that site and try and get the bomb down. But Reason with a fantastic shot with the Deagle. Connor is now kind of stuck here with the Nova, wants to see if he can pick anyone off. Dream has caught him, but he's not able to catch anyone with those shots as Keita comes in with the CZ, picking up a kill. And the AK spray down to finish the round. Nice little push there from Infused.
Yeah, Dream just able to convincingly finish the remaining players from Reason, and Infused take another round on the trot. And now, unfortunately for Reason, that means they are forced into an eco round. They do have a Deagle in the hands of Weber, but it's not going to be a whole lot to write home about. And obviously Infused with a very convincing buy off the back of that win. They already took so many AKs through. I think there was only, what, 1 or 2 players that actually died that round anyway, so really not a difficult rebuy for them. A very aggressive push came out from Infused there towards B, but not with the bomb, kind of just maybe trying to sell a fake, maybe trying to force the rotations a little bit, because Dream is off on his own, and I think he might be looking to maybe sneak onto the A site alone.
It was very important that 3 members of Infused survived that round, just so they can keep their economy nice and tidy. Obviously, you did say the Deagle in the hands of Weber, and if you wanted it in anyone's hands, it's probably good to be in the hands, as Weber is probably going to be one of the standout players in this series. He's got a lot to answer for. He's going to have a lot of expectations on his shoulders, as Infused are now pushing towards this B site. Some shots coming over to Jenko. He is taken down to half of his HP, and the pistol shots are hitting him hard. The smoke comes down as he is just trying to dance around this box, but he's been flashed as well, and they just can't get onto that site. Nice defensive grenades there from Reason Gaming.
Yeah, unfortunately can't quite connect enough shots to finish him off. Did tag him down to 34, but just forces him to back away. And again, the A site is going to be the call coming out from Team Infused as they slowly but surely start to push on through. And Weber smells a rat as he starts to rotate over across this map. And I think he knows that this rotation is going to be coming on through. Lumji still hanging around over towards that B side, but Weber now well aware of the situation, just spraying on through the smoke, but he doesn't actually find any of his targets. And now he has to try and make this aggressive push, but the bomb will end up going down, and Lumji's going huge as he finds 2. Ring around the roses around that pillar. Does finally find a 3rd, but ends up getting taken down by Phaeton, who's found himself an AK, and now needs to try and make this weapon work, but it's Jenko to finish the round off, just pushes in aggressively and takes out those 2 remaining CTs.
I love that Infused, they were kind of pushing towards B. The flashes, the smokes came out, and they said, look, guys, we're not getting in here easily. We might lose too many weapons. Yes, we'll probably get in there eventually, get the plant. Why risk it? Let's go back towards A. We know there's at least 3 members at that B site. Make a nice strategic push. They use that smoke in mid just to make sure that no one can catch them off guard. There was the spamming of the Deagle coming out of Weber, but unfortunately didn't connect with anyone. Very big round from Infused, but now we will see the buy coming out of Reason Gaming.
We certainly will. And again, we keep on seeing Infused do this kind of aggressive push towards B and then halt here, kind of hold on. But this time, they actually have the bomb with them and they are going to commit to this. Lumji on the front gets a headshot straight away, and Red Snake finds one as well. Lumji gets his 2nd one, he turns it into a hat-trick. No, Roma actually stole the kill from him there. But Lumji definitely looking for more, but Weber is not going to give it to them. I think he's just going to hold on to this M4 at this point. There's no way that he's going to look for this round realistically with that M4. Maybe look for an exit frag or 2, but to try and push onto those 5 AKs would be suicide.
I'll tell you what Infused are doing really well is just keeping Weber out of the game, actually. Weber's just been single-handedly holding that A site. They might have noticed this and said, look, let's push towards B site. If we can get a pick early, then we can kind of push into that site. Yeah. If we force the rotation out of Weber, then we can push around to that A site, as Jenko will be caught off guard, so Weber will kind of hurt the economy slightly of Infused, but they will know where he is now. I'm not sure anyone is going to be in a position whether they can find him or not. No one is going to chase him too hard. They will allow him to escape with that M4, so a lot of pressure on Weber going into this round, as he will be the only person with a rifle.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick replay of Lumji just taking the head off of his opponent there, and he gets a 2nd as well to finish off. And I think Lumji just completely opened that round up for his team, was able to just get straight onto the site, no messing around, and from that point on, it was just kind of plain sailing.
It was the way he was just so confident to push through the smoke and push onto that site. A lot of players would be reluctant to push through smoke in case someone was watching it, but a member of Reason Gaming, Weber, is taken down by Dream, and he did have the M4, so this is going to be huge for Infused as Lumji picks up another headshot with the AK. Just 2 members remaining from Reason, and it's going to be pretty tough. We might see, yeah, Connor manages to catch Lumji off guard there, pick himself up an AK. Maybe he can do something special as he picks up another kill onto Jenko, and now he can kind of push towards his A site. Hey, anything's possible. This is still doable, but maybe he wants to save the AK instead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would fully expect him to hold on to that, but this is Connor, let's remember. He is kind of a playmaker. He may be new to the scene, but he's already proven that he can kind of fight with the very best of them. Here we go, he's actually going to peek over towards that side. Just is always the way. The second you pull out the grenade is when they peek and they take you straight out. So Connor, unfortunately, does end up losing that round.
I mean, I suppose because they had the money to buy anyway, he was just like, why not? I'll push in. And you say he's new to this scene, and I guess having that kind of fresh mind on the game sometimes is actually really important, because you might not have experienced certain situations, and it might make you play very differently, which the other team might not expect. And we spoke before how you want to take one of these teams out of their comfort zone, but Infused at the moment look extremely comfortable on T side as Connor is taken down by Roma. And now Infused will once again push into this B side, but Batham with a very solid defense with his M4. Roma will get the trade, and now we're in a 3v3 situation on this B side.
Yeah, but the double AWP available for Reason, so it certainly looks to be a good round for them if the shots can connect. Keita back into that AWP position. Unfortunately, I think he just strafed a split second before he shot there, and he ends up going down to Roma in the end. But Weber, he's gone for the flank, and he will be able to find Red Snake for it. So he is going to be rewarded for his patience on that one, as Reason is going to come from the other side and knocks out the bomb carrier. That is going to be crucial as the leg comes through. Lumji's so low and will get finished off. Weber taking the round for his team right there. And it is now Reason Gaming with the second one on the board. And that's very important, because at this point in the game, if Infused had just continued to snowball these rounds, Reason would have been in a very bad situation. But as you can see, the observer pointing out there, there's been 5 rounds on the trot for Infused, so there was maximized loss bonus for Reason. If Reason lose this round now, that's gone again.
Yeah, they would have been in a unfortunate spot, but that's what I want to see out of Weber, kind of just making sure he is in the game rather than being kind of played out by Infused. The rotation was perfect. He knows they are favoring this B site, so he was more than willing to push around, especially when he has an AWP in his hand to kind of, as backup, he clearly are very comfortable with that weapon. As the smokes will come out, as Infused are trying to once again push towards this B site, but we've seen it before, when the smokes and the flashes come, they do kind of back off towards that A site. It will be whether Weber is in a position to kind of catch them out during rotation. Perhaps they will just go for the fake as the flashes come out now, and Infused look like they are trying to sneak a push in here. Dream is in a good position with this AWP, trying to see if anyone's in that chicken hut. He's looking at Fountain as well, but no one is showing even a toe at the moment for him to hit.
No, absolutely not. I think he's aware that Batham is on that boost spot. That's where he was last round as well. And if Batham does get spotted, he will just get railed by Dream. But it's whether Dream can actually find anyone through this huge wall of smoke that is now about to dissipate. So the fight should kick off. Does tag Reason, but it's through the wall. Batham goes down, and he's going to look for more as he heads over onto the site. Reason about to peek and will get finished off. Dream is on point with this AWP right now. Nearly takes out his teammate, but he is going to be able to get away with that one in the end. And Weber, suddenly the last man remaining, does have an AWP to work with, but yeah, he's just going to back away. He decides one exit frag is enough for him. He's going to stick around, look for anyone that's trying to hunt him down. But so long as Infused plays smart, it's another round in the back.
I mean, the difference from last round was Weber kind of stayed at A site for far too long. Like, as soon as that first kill happened, he was still just sitting at A site in case there was any sort of fake, as he does pick up another AWP on Dream, and he will just try and destroy a little bit of this economy. But Infused are not happy about him keeping this AWP, so they will hunt him down. But he needs to be careful as Lumji jumps on top of the white van, tries to get the kill, and he will eventually take down Weber. Very important that they were able to take that AWP off him, because now look at the economy of Reason Gaming.
Yeah, just look at this from Dream as well. Just forcing his way onto this site, and knew the Reason was there. He'd already legged him earlier, and just waiting for that opportunity to finish that target off. But I've got to say that was a little bit risky from Infused, trying to push onto Weber like that. Obviously, he did manage to get 2 kills, so they took the AWP off of him, and yes, that cripples the economy of Reason. That's the key thing that they managed to achieve. They did actually throw quite a lot of money into that, and if Weber had just landed one more shot, it wouldn't have been a very cost-efficient push at all, to be quite honest.
I mean, but the amount of money that Infused have, they are more than willing, as Dream will get the early pick on Weber. And they will now push towards this A site. There are not many guns to work with, just a Deagle actually in the hands of Reason to try and defend this A site. As now we will see Infused push together. But Reason is on his own actually at B. There is one of Infused members going towards B as Jenko gets the AK kill, and this just should be a formality now as they push towards this A site. And Reason just really need to try and get as many picks as possible, but Batham can't do anything either. Nice, slow and patient play from Infused, despite the advantage that they have right now.
Yeah, I've got to say, the pick that Keita managed to get, I think it was onto Dream, who had the AWP. I'm not sure that really should have happened, to be quite honest. Dream just missed his shot and then was completely punished for that, but it took him like 5 shots or something to kill him. I don't think Dream should have stayed out in the open to actually die there. I think he should have been able to back away, but you know, swings and roundabouts, not the end of the world for them. They've still got plenty of bank to work with, and they're going to hold on to 3 AKs as well. As the or Connor is going to hold on to this AK. Bomb is down over towards the A site, and there's not really anything that Reason can do about it.
Well, we did say that kind of Connor was perhaps going to be new to LAN, and he wasn't necessarily, maybe he's going to be the players to watch. Can he do what he did at home? He's on 8 kills right now, so he's definitely doing a lot for his team. He needs his team to step up around him.
Yeah, certainly does, but you can see kind of on the face of these players, it's definitely near the start of the series. They're not kind of too tense just yet, it's not too close. But Reason, I mean, you can see Keita right there. He clearly looks quite nervous, and rightly so. They're 5 rounds down at the moment, and they've kind of got to find where they're going wrong right now. And I think this is the tactical pause coming out from Reason, and I think it's kind of them working out, where do we go from here?
Depends where they stand on our argument, Joe, of is this a CT-sided map or is this T-sided? At the moment, I think I'm swinging to your side, and it is perhaps T-sided. I mean, Infused have been using those new stairs on B site actually really well, aggressively. Often I've seen it as a defensive position, but yeah, Infused really strong with their pushes towards B site at the moment. And even though that Reason are sending 4 men there to hold it every single round, Infused just seem to be breaking through, and I'd really like a change to come from Reason, perhaps Weber to move over to that B site.
And you can see on the faces of Infused, they're very, very comfortable right now. They know that they've got a lead. They know that it's all going fine and dandy. And like, I mean, in this tactical pause, you don't even need to be discussing strategy that much, Infused. Like, it's working. Don't fix it if it ain't broke, you know? Or wrong way around, but you get the gist. Like, Infused in a very, very comfortable spot. And actually, in terms of economy as well, multiple players are on over $5,000 still at this point, even after buying. So Infused just in general very, very comfortable in this game. And
well, we said we were going to be watching Lumji, and he's on 10 kills at the moment, only 6 deaths, and if he can carry on what he's doing with this aggressive approach that Infused have been taking on their T sides, then I think Reason are going to be looking at losing this first map, to be honest. They really need to turn something around. They really need to change something in their defense, because their B-side defense just hasn't been good enough right now. They've been allowing Infused in far too easily.
Yeah, I think one thing that maybe could be changed for them is Weber has been the one that's been sent to A repeatedly. Like, he's kind of the last line of defense over at the A site. Maybe swap that around. So maybe put Weber on the boost spot where Batham's been, put Batham over towards A. Batham is a very capable player. He can hold that site just like Weber can. But Weber maybe is that kind of catalyst that they need over towards that B site to actually win some of these rounds. But here we go. We are going to start this round off as Dream manages to just annihilate Keita.
Yeah, and it was Keita that was going towards A site. Weber had switched it up. He had gone towards B, but it's almost as if Infused knew as they all pushed towards that A site. They now have a little bit of control here. They need to be careful that no one pushes through that smoke, as Connor is kind of just hiding away, making sure he's not getting seen, but grenades will come out. I think Reason know he is there. Great Molotov there, forcing these Reason players out. Connor will try and get the spray down through the door, but no one is going to be connected by those shots. Swag 7 from Reason. Not a great position to have the Swag 7 now, as he does find an AK just sitting on the floor there, which is a good to kind of pick up.
Yeah, he's going to be very happy with that pickup. The Mag 7 really not great for trying to get back onto his site, but I don't think Reason are even going to go for this one. I think they're backing away right now, which, I mean, I do like this to some extent, you know, keeping these weapons. They've got no money. They wouldn't be able to rebuy next round. But it's down to a matter of, do you want to just throw rounds away at this stage? You're already 5 rounds down. Can you afford to just give away these rounds like this?
Well, I mean, essentially, next round is a throwaway if they were to lose this anyway, just because of their economy. So they're kind of thinking, right, we've got some decent weapons. We can kind of force up next round. There's no point giving it away. So I can understand them reluctant to push in, especially when there was only 1 player lost from each team. So you can kind of hold A site very easily with decent after plants when you have that much control. Now, it'll be interesting to see what Keita's actually going to purchase here. He's going to have to force something. Oh, no. Okay, brilliant. Someone is able to buy for him, as the Swag 7 will come out again from Reason. And it's whether he can get in a position this time to kind of stop the Infused rush.
Interesting that Reason have put the AWP on Weber, because like throughout the season, we've seen kind of Connor and Keita both swap between that AWPing role. And it's actually Weber, this game specifically, that has been kind of designated AWPer for the team. And so far, not really been working amazingly for them, and it's all, in terms of AWPing, it's been all about Dream. Dream has been spot on with his shots. He's been doing a lot of work for Team Infused, and you can see that on the scoreboard. He's 10 and 4 right now, but Batham on this boost spot once more. Very slow start to this one for Infused. We've seen quite a few fast-paced rounds coming out from them, but they're deciding to kind of reset once more. They're going back to kind of how they started this game off, and I mean, it was working very, very well for them, but a few grenades are going to come in, and I think they're trying to sell this B push right now.
Once again, Connor just backing off from drop down rather than taking that aggressive position. He will maybe catch out Jenko as Jenko does, but Lumji is there to make sure that Jenko survives. Kita on his own over at A site. It does look like the bomb is actually going towards A, so Batham might be able to catch some people rotating off here as Lumji takes down Weber as well. We're in a 5v3 situation heading towards this A site. Kita will try and take down. He does get Red Snake as well, so now it's that Swag 7. The Mag 7 is going to kind of make a difference here, but just as I say that, he manages to get Roma, pick up an AK. We're in a 2v2. Jenko has got very little health, so I'd be favouring Reason to take this round.
Could well be, but it's going to be Jenko going down, and Lumji, last man remaining. He's already got 3 kills for himself, and he's going to look for a Reason as well, but he's not going to find it. Oh, he is! What am I talking about? Lumji does manage to take the kill, gets the 4K, and will take yet another round for Team Infused. 11 rounds in, and Infused have managed to grab 9 of them.
Lumji again doing some absolute work. They should have never won that round, especially with the health that was on there. It's just incredible what this guy is pulling off right now. 14 kills for him, and Reason are now on another dirty eco round, and it's not looking great for them.
It is certainly not. Here we go. Again, this kind of... It's not quite an eco, you know, you got the Deagles, you got the CZ, you got a little bit of armor and a couple of flashbangs, but as well, it's not really a whole lot to work with. And it's one of these buys that I do like these buys because it's kind of, you're not committing, you're not going whole hog on spending all of your money, but you are saying, you know, we have the weaponry to be able to take out a couple of players, and if we do get those first 2 picks, grab a couple of rifles from ourselves, at that point the round is very winnable.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of mean by like a dirty eco. It's an eco where you've kind of just bought whatever you can just to move on to that next round as well with a full buy. Does look like they're setting up for an A site take here, but Kita is in a position where he might be able to catch them off guard if they don't check that angle. They just need to be careful here. Dream does look the wrong way, and Kita manages to take down Dream. Fortunately, Jenko turned around quick enough as Connor actually picks up a kill with the Deagle, and now we are in a 4v3 situation. Reason do have the advantage. They just need to find one of those weapons. Connor does pick up the AK, and they will now move towards A because they know that's where the bomb is, because they would have got that call. Jenko with very little health to work with, so he'll probably try and play entry and get a pick here, but he needs to be careful. Got a Molotov in hand to try and delay this team as Reason is also taken down. Great push there as Red Snake gets another kill, but Weber with fantastic defense, and wow, what a round from Reason Gaming on that kind of that Deagle CZ buy there. Very important for them to take that round. They could have been staring down the end of a barrel if they hadn't have won that.
And this is exactly what we said. The second you manage to get a couple of those kills, grab a rifle or 2 for yourselves, that's when that round becomes very, very winnable, especially when it's the players that had bought that armor. But it was Weber and Connor who managed to win it out in the end. Connor grabbing that AK from one of his opponents and making it really work for himself. But now, again, we're starting to see these quicker B pushes coming out from Team Infused. They're looking to just try and finish off this half. And realistically, Infused, they don't have to sweat. They're comfortable. Even if they lose every round for the rest of this half, they've still got a great, great score to work with. But Lumji, he's not done just yet. Batham turns it into a trade, though, and takes 1 for the trouble. And now he's going to push on for more. Gets Roma down, and it's going to be 3 versus 3. The bomb is down, but Batham is still on this side. Kita trying to find a way to get on in, but this wall of smokes ruining everything for them right now. As you can see, he's just completely blind. Misses the point-blank shot, though, and that could be disastrous. Kita just cannot find these targets, and now he will go down. Jenko finishes off the round with a 2nd kill, and it will be Team Infused. 10 rounds on the board, and just look at Batham, sorry, pushing on in, gets one, and then finds Roma as well through the smoke in a second.
And through the flash as well. Fantastic kill there from Batham, and it's crazy. From the round before, I think Kita actually won when he was kind of hiding and waiting for them to push round to A site, and he was able to pick up that kill on the AWP when Dream just, for some reason, didn't check one of the most common spots in the game. However, when Keita had the chance to make a play there with the AWP, he just couldn't connect with those shots. Maybe that's the nerves jingling as Weber tries to get a pick. He will let his team know they are coming through mid. Fantastic shot there on Roba, but Dream will be there to make the trade. Lumji also gets a kill on Keita. Now we're in a 4v3 situation, heading onto this A site once again. Reason again with the Mag 7, but Connor is going to be the man you're going to look to now to make any sort of play from this round. Perhaps they're just going to fall back like we saw earlier when Team Infused had the A control of this site. Yeah,
absolutely. 4 AKs though, or 3 AKs, sorry, still in the hands of Team Infused, as well as that Mac 10 in the hands of Dream. The bomb is down, and I'm not sure that this is something that they're even going to try for. Batham does push on in, but I think that was kind of more of a desperation play, maybe just try and hurt the economy again for Infused. But the thing is, even if they hurt the economy at this point, Reason failing to get that shot there, even if they hurt the economy, it really doesn't matter too much for Infused right now. Look how much money they've got. They're definitely going to be able to buy next round. The next round is the last round of the half. Like, at this point, Infused, worst case scenario, are up 11-4. That is a huge lead to be starting the next round.
It is. I think it was perhaps just like a defensive push just to make sure that they delayed Infused from trying to rush down Connor with the AWP. But, you know, they have got an AWP to work with, so perhaps Connor could pull something out here. But, yeah, they're looking at a big deficit going into their T round, and it kind of speaks volumes for me at how confident Infused are going into the match. The fact that they picked T side first, and they have just absolutely dominated. Dream will be boosted up here to see if he can get a nice early pick, but the smoke will come down to block any sort of sideline that he has towards this B site.
Yeah, and it's... I mean, to Infuse, this round really doesn't matter all too much. They're going to be happy regardless. But to Reason, this round is so crucial. Like, every little helps at this point when you're down so much. It's just like everything just trying to make up for that huge deficit in rounds. Because Infused still deciding where they want to actually go with this round. Not committing to either side just yet. Still got that bomb towards the middle of the map. I'm curious where they do end up taking this one. It looks like it will be the B site all in all.
They've had so much success at B sites, so I'm not surprised as Batham is taken down. But there is a response from Reason with the CZ. If he can get that AK, maybe they're in with a chance, but Infused will know and they will stop him pushing around this box. But it is a 4v4 situation. They have had so much success pushing through drop down, so it does look like a couple of players are going to push that area. There's no one to stop them, so they might be able to get some control of this site now. But Weber is on the flank, and he is coming behind these players. If Reason can delay them for just a little bit, might be able to get two of these picks. He's being very patient as he does get the double kill, and he will find himself an AK. As a reward, needs to stay alive, work with his teammate here, who is kind of dancing around Fountain. If they can take down Jenko together, it could be a very crucial round as Jenko tries to get the spray down, can't quite finish the kill, but Weber will get that with the AK. Finish this off, 11-4 to Infused, very dominant.
Beautiful round from Weber, absolutely exceptional. The flank comes through, gets the double kill with the CZ, finds an AK for himself as well, and actually wins out that duel against Roma. But honestly, that duel was incredibly close. He only won that with 2 HP, but obviously with Connor still on the site, he was fairly comfortable. But that round, as I said at the start, meant a lot for Reason. It didn't really mean too much for Infuse. You know, they've already got a huge advantage. Like, that much is really not a big deal to them. But when you're that far down, that one round can make all the difference. And, you know, if Reason now win the pistol, win the next couple of rounds off the back of that as well, suddenly they're actually only 4 or 5 rounds down.
And how many times is that said? If they win the pistol, the pistols are so crucial in these games, because if Infuse win the pistol, then they're looking at like a 14-4, because you would expect them to win those 3 rounds. But, you know, perhaps this is T-sided. Maybe I'm going to swing towards your argument, Joe. I am being proved wrong. And Infuse definitely confident on T-side. And it will be whether they can hold CT as strongly as they pushed from that T now.
I'm curious to see what the strategy is on the pistol here for Infuse. Whether they go for something standard. And the same for Reason, to be quite honest. Whether we see just something standard, but I'd love to see on the CT side from Infuse, maybe like a stack or something, or just like maybe go for the counter boost and kind of just push aggressively. Like, I want to see something off the wall here to catch Reason off guard and kind of just finish the game. Like, if Infuse can really make a statement in this pistol and just kind of say, stay down, Reason, this is our game, then that really affect the mindset going into the second match as well. It's kind of like a we're not going anywhere statement.
For sure. I mean, a B stack here would be fantastic, and as long as Lumji is kind of at that B site, I'm quite confident in Infused being able to hold. He has been going absolutely off this game. Very confident in his own shot. Really need to look at Weber now on Reason Gaming to kind of do something, bring them back into this game. A very important pistol round for them. If they do lose it, they may be looking at a 1-0 deficit going into this series. Does look like there's not going to be a stack. It is just going to be 3 towards B. One just kind of holding the rotation spot, making sure no one pushes mid, but Reason Gaming are pushing towards that A site rather than the B site that we so commonly see. And that call would have been made, and now we will see the rotation start to come out from Infused.
Yeah. I love how confident Connor is. He's more than happy to be that point man and just charge on him, but Red Snake waiting in the wings. He's got his USP, he's looking for the headshots, but he can't connect them. Missing left, right, and center. He only gets one in the end and gets punished for that misplay. And now, with Dream on 5 HP and Jenko on 100, maybe this is still doable, but it's going to be tricky for these CTs as they have to go for the retake. Batham and Reason both looking at the same spot, though. Maybe need to kind of split up and look for clues at this point. Jenko on the flank, though. It's going to be Dream flashing his teammate in, but they don't find anyone immediately. Batham now peeking. He's got the information. He knows where Jenko is, and it's going to be Dream pushing it on the other side as well. Batham is going to go for this duel, though. Gets his head taken clean off, though, as Reason managed to take out Jenko's teammate. Jenko now pushing very aggressively, but he can't finish it off. And it is going to be Reason staying in the game right now. He wins that crucial pistol, and it means that Reason Gaming are actually still in with a chance.
Really important round from them, and just a nice hold on A site. It's very difficult to break that A site when you do have some decent afterplants coming in. But the scout will be bought from Roma, so they are going to kind of buy some weapons, and you never know. When you've got those deagles in hand, if you put them in the hands of the right kind of players, you can definitely make some work with it. As Lumji is just kind of wait. See if he can catch anyone off guard, but the spray down through the wall will come from Connor. Very aggressive positions coming out from Infused, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I wanted to see. This aggressive defense coming out from them. Like, continue to force that mindset that we are the dominant team, but Red Snake having to fall back on that one, can't quite connect his shots, but he's alright. He didn't really take too much damage either, so not the end of the world for him. But Reason, they've got a couple of rifles to work with, they've got a couple of MAC-10s, so this should be a relatively simple round for them. But you know, the scout in the hands of Roma, very versatile weapon. You can do a whole lot with this one, and he's got that beautiful little skin as well. I do love the slash skin, but we'll see if he's actually going to be able to have an impact on this round, because he's actually at the wrong site right now. It looks like the A site is going to be the one where the action really kicks off, and Lumji and Red Snake are going to be over there. But it'll be 2 versus 5 and down to the retake. So we'll see how this one pans out as Lumji looks for those shots, but he's going to get taken down in the end. Connor finding him, and Connor actually getting his head taken clean off. Keita answers that one immediately, though, with a MAC-10, and now suddenly 3 CTs remaining. They've got to go on this rotation. Exactly what I was saying. Now it comes down to the retake. The scout trying to find a shot through the door, but he just can't quite connect it. Jenko finds one with a deagle onto Keita, and suddenly the CTs actually outnumber the Ts. That was a complete lie, but it's 2 versus 2 now. Weber down to 50% HP, but the flank Jenko is in a lot of trouble, but he's connected his shots and somehow got out of that one. Batham with the AK just needs to land a couple of bullets, but it's down to Jenko with the deagle. Beautiful play, 4K for Jenko. And Team Infused, despite losing the pistol, pull themselves back in and get a 12th round on the board.
Red Snake kind of getting a kill there as they were pushing towards A side was just so important. Allowed his team just a little bit more time to rotate towards the site. And just kind of spamming with that scout, and he was just kind of hitting shots, he was hitting legs. And Jenko did fantastically with the deagle to pick out 2 members of Reason. Really important round. Now they can buy up here, and Reason are definitely staring down a very dirty barrel. They are going to be worried now going into this next round.
Yeah, they certainly are. And you know, 3 rounds away from match point. Team Infused are feeling comfortable, feeling just about fine. And we saw that on their faces earlier during that tactical pause. You could see they're all kind of laughing, all having a good time. But here we go with the push on towards this A site. Surprising to see that the A site is favoured here, but it is going to be Reason going down. Lumji opening this one up with his FAMAS. But Batham answers that one onto Roma, and the Tech-9's doing some wondrous things for Reason right now as they push onto the site, but they're slowly but surely running out of players at this rate as Red Snake pushing onto the site with the high explosive grenade, tagging out that player, and it's gonna be Jenko with the MAC-10. But actually, all in all, it's been very well traded by Reason Gaming. They've managed to make this fairly even, down to about 10 HP. It's going to be Connor on the side, but he manages to land a headshot. Tech9, more like Rec9 there, coming through onto Red Snake. And Reason, they trade it back. We're going 1 for 1 on these rounds right now.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate there for Red Snake. I really would have just liked him to kind of push up a little bit more, try and get closer to his target using that MAC-10. Unfortunately, he was taken down. He just had to try and use his pistol, but yeah, the Tech9 rush there really working for Reason Gaming. They can buy up 3 AKs. They've got some SMGs to work with as well, but it looks like they now will be favouring that B site. And I think this is what Reason need to do. They need to just be fast, they need to get aggressive, and not allow Infused to just get comfortable and set up.
Absolutely. And Infused, again, these 4 spies coming on through, everybody with the armor. They know that MAC-10s are going to be the answer here for Reason, so making sure that that is going to be the case. A Deagle in the hands of Dream. We've seen him using that AWP, and we'll see if he can use kind of the pistol variant just as well. But he is going to be forced away by that Molly, and that kind of gives a lot of information that it is going to be a B push here. The flash is going to be fairly detrimental, but he's going to push it very aggressively with this Deagle. Can't quite connect his shot though. Lumji is on the scene though, finds 2 for himself, and it's going to be Jenko chiming in. Suddenly this Reason push has been stopped in its tracks. Connor still with the AK trying to find these shots onto Lumji, but he just can't find his target.
Lumji is a one-man wrecking machine with this 5-7. So many important kills, so many important picks. Perfect flash there. Oh, but he misses his jump.
God.
If he was able to jump up earlier there, he might have been able to get the kill. Weber, unfortunately, does take him down. They are in a 3v2 situation, but they do have 2 AKs to work with. But the M4 on the side of Infused, in the hands of Jenko. He's going to be the man you're going to want to look to really defend this site now, as it does look like they are still going to try and take B. But Infused have well set up for this push. The smoke will delay the round a little bit, but now the flash will come in as Infused do start to move towards the site. Weber's trying to see if he can spot anyone on that tree. Can't connect with anyone though. Jenko still trying to spray down someone with the M4. Can't quite connect, but eventually hits the head just above the wall. Brilliant round there from Infused, and it just is going back and forth at the moment, Munchables.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of Caster's curse on Lumji right there, just as we mentioned
as
how
I say,
well
he's
he's
incredible.
doing. Fails to jump up the wall. A little bit embarrassing. But if you look at the scoreboard, it's very true. Lumji is just destroying this game. And unfortunately, there is the replay of him just getting absolutely wrecked. And he might be good at hitting heads, but it's just not that great at parkour. But here we go into the 20th round of the game. Infused with a very, very convincing advantage. Couple of rifles coming into play as well as a couple of SMGs, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do in this round with that extra firepower. And again, the Tech9s, the Deagles, this kind of pseudo-buy, I want to call it, keeps on coming into play, and we've seen so many times it actually working out really well.
It has, but another slow round from Reason again. Like I said, I just think they need to take these fast rounds. They allowed Infused to set up with some decent in some decent positions on the B site, and they just seem to struggle to push into a site when Infused do have those angles and where they can hold those shadow advantages. But Lumji is here at A site. He's waiting, and I like this setup more. Reason where every round they were having 4 at B, 1 at A, but Infused are kind of having that one player in that rotation position in middle, just so he can kind of move to either site. The smokes will come out. So Red Snake will kind of give some information to his team that they probably are in middle here. He needs to watch out for this flash. He'll throw a counter Molotov. He's going to push through the smoke, and actually he will bump into someone. And I'm not sure they did notice. Yes, they did notice that they do take down. We're in a 3v3. That's Jenko with the M4 on this site. And actually, I really love this position here. Roma is going to get taken down by both of them, and fantastic push there from the Deagles. Jenko can't quite get the kill. Aggressive from Weber as well, and we are now left with just Dream using the MP9, manages to get Reason. And in a 2v1 situation like this, I really just want to see him sneak up as close as he can get. Really use this SMG to his full advantage. Gets the spray down on one. Just needs to push now and try and take down Weber as well. But Weber gets a fantastic kill with the Tech9. And once again, the counter buy is working perfectly.
And that was really nice movement from Weber as well. Instead of just going for the obvious play of jumping back up onto the site, which is what his opponent was expecting of him, just continues to push around over towards the spawn and does manage to win out that little duel. So very nice little bit of movement from him, and it's going to mean that now Reason, they're the ones with a more convincing buy. Just 3 rifles though, and this has kind of been the story of the last 4 or 5 rounds, just back and forth, taking it in turns, and it means that neither team has a strong economy. Neither team is actually taking a huge advantage here, but the double Famis coming out for Infused is more than enough for them to take around if they can find these first couple of picks, if they can get a bit of an advantage for themselves. And Red Snake, I like this play. He does this almost every single round, going up long, like gets a little bit of information, does a little bit of damage with a 5-7 if he can find the shots, and then just backs away, gets back onto the site. And I don't think we've seen him die in that position yet either. He always convincingly gets that information and then backs away.
It's Red Snake and Lumji who've just been doing fantastically in these kind of rounds as well, just getting those picks with the 5-7. I mean, it's so powerful, it's got so much armor penetration, so it's a great defensive weapon when you are in one of these kind of eco-ish buys, the kind of half-force buys that they're having to pull out. Weber is just kind of waiting here at B long, see if he can catch anyone out by the smoke, but Dream is not pushing, he is holding his ground on top of this box. He's worried if anyone's going to push him as well. Just kind of a standoff now. Weber will catch a glance of his arm, but he can't take him down. And now we see the push coming out of Reason Gaming as Weber does pick up the first kill. But the response from Jenko with the 5-second gets the 3K. He is eventually taken down by Kita, but Lumji is there to trade as well. 2v1 situation, but the bomb will actually go down at B site.
Yeah, so selling the fake perfectly right now, and Kita with the AK will be able to take control of this round. If he can land his shots, finds one for himself, and it's Red Snake in a 1 versus 1. He's got this Famous to work with. If he can connect the shots, he's in a good position. 57 HP on Kita, but he turns around. He's going to get taken down. The Famous comes out on top, and Team Infused, they're pushing closer and closer to that victory. 14 rounds now for them as Red Snake defuses the bomb, and Reason Gaming on just half of that score.
I can only imagine the nerves from Red Snake there. We saw him in a 1v1 situation earlier when he only had an SMG in hand. He wasn't able to win that round. With a Famous though, he was going to be much more comfortable, and he had the health advantage as well. So 2 rounds away from taking this first game of the series, and what a first game it's been actually. Such a commanding position from Infused when they were on the T side, but it's just been back and forth when Reason have been on T side of both teams, having to force every other round. We've not seen a full eco yet, as the Molotov will come out from Red Snake, as he will just defend this kind of long area. Maybe he would have heard a few footsteps, so he will give word to his team that they are around A, and we might see a couple of rotations coming from B site. Just the one from Jenko, just slowly with his shadow daggers out, just decides to attack the floor for the hell of it. Why not? And now he just needs to kind of wait, see where these Reason Gaming players are going to push. It looks like they are still favoring A site. The smokes will come out, and this is what we were expecting. Different from the last series that we saw. These tactical smokes, perfect smoke there from Kita, just to make sure they stop that mid door. But Lumji takes down Weber. Red Snake will get bait them as well, and the terrorists are just going down like flies right now. But a fantastic response from Reason and Connor. We are in a 2v2. They've got the site, the smokes are down. They will be able to plant this bomb, but they need to do it quickly and not allow Infused to push onto this site.
We go 2 versus 2 as the rifles in the hands of Team Infused right now. The Tech 9s, we've seen them do wonders this game already. But are they going to be able to connect the shots? That's the question. And up against the AK in the hands of Dream, we've seen how convincing Dream's play has been throughout this game. Let's have a look at the scoreboard as well. Dream, second on the team, just underneath Lumji. It's going to be Roma with the Famous as well, pushing onto this side. The Tech 9's just trying to scare their opponents away a bit. Dream just snaps to the head of Connor and finishes him off, and suddenly Reason finds himself alone. He's got the Tech 9, but it's not enough. Roma finishes him off, and that is going to be another point for Team Infused. They've made it all the way to 15, and now the pressure is on for Reason Gaming. Reason suddenly just 1 round away from crushing defeat on this first map, and basically they have to go on a flawless streak right now. They have to get themselves 8 rounds on the trot, or they are, unfortunately, going to be going to the second map 1-0 down. Certainly not a good position for them to be in, and certainly not the best buy to have in that kind of scenario. But they've got a decent amount of utility to work with here.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen a kind of full rifle standoff between either of these teams at the moment. I mean, even Jenko still only has a Famous. Perhaps that was a defensive decision. He said, look, okay, so if we do lose this round, I've still got money to carry on, rather than going all out and getting all of the M4s. Weber will get the first kill. Connor will follow up with the Tech 9 as well, so they're in a 5v3 situation, and they will start to push towards this site, but Lumji is kind of in mid, just holding back any kind of aggression, as he's been doing all game. He's got a hell of a lot of kills, and he has been my MVP of this game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And Reason, I mean, I said they didn't have the most convincing buy. They were the ones on the back foot a little bit here, but so far winning out the round. They have the numbers now. Can they translate that into the round? Roma getting tagged incredibly low. Will be able to back away from that one in the end. Connor couldn't quite finish him off there. So close. But Roma survives on 5 HP. And with an M4 in hand, 5 HP is more than enough to finish someone off if he can get the drop on them. Kita, though, he's behind his opponents. Maybe can get a flank going, but is deciding to just back away and head over to the rest of his team now as the T's start to rotate over towards this B site, and it's all in the eyes of Jenko over on those newly found stairs. Batham pushing on in, gets taken down almost immediately. And Jenko still with a lot of bullets to work with. He's going to look for headshots, but gets taken down. Reason finding that first kill, and they are going to push onto the site. They're going to be able to get this bomb down, and it doesn't look like Team Infused are even going to answer for this one. They want to hold on to these rifles. They know that they are 1 point away from victory. And just look at the scoreboard right now. Jenko and Lumji are tearing this game apart. Connor, the one that we were putting all the pressure on, the one that we were saying, this guy needs to step up and needs to prove himself here at his first LAN. He is topping the scoreboard for a reason. It's the rest of his teammates that just aren't able to fill the hole.
Well, I mean, Kita there at the bottom of the scoreboard as well, 9 in 22. It was in the final match of the season, actually. Kita really stepped up against UFrag, and he needs to do that again if Reason are going to have any kind of chance in this game, and to be honest, in the series in general, because if he carries on playing the way he does, then it's Infused are just going to have a whale of a time pushing it whatever site he is holding, because he just doesn't look confident in his shot right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And holding on to those rifles has proved beneficial here for Team Infused, as they don't have a whole lot of money to work with. But it does mean that they have a little bit more of a chance in this round. And again, it's going to be one of those rounds where, yes, they don't have the most convincing buy, but if they can get the first couple of picks, if Jenko can find someone with that deagle and grab himself a rifle, then they're actually looking to be in a pretty good spot. But plenty of utility to work with, and Connor finds a nice, simple headshot to start things off. Jenko does go down, and he was the one that was on about getting picks with that deagle, but it is going to now be 5 versus 4. But I like this from Reason, not going for anything too crazy right off the back of that. Kita does find one though, actually, and it's going to be traded straight back across. Reason and Dream both grab one, and Reason finishing off Dream as well. So suddenly we're running out of CTs. Lumji, the last man remaining, is he's on the wrong site. But it looks like he is going to go for this one. I think the rest of his team is going to be force buying next round anyway, so I think he... Maybe he's not going to push for this one, actually.
I don't think they need to force buy next round. I think they can just happily eco one and just say, look guys, let's take it slow. We don't need this round right away. So Lumji will just wait, try and see if he can get any exits here. But I think this is good from Reason. Their pushes seem to be a lot more methodical now. They're taking a little bit more time about their strategy. The kind of quick pushes were working earlier, but Infused seemed to have caught onto that. They had Lumji there, they had Red Snake there at either site, just waiting with 5.7s or M4s, whatever they had in their mitts, and just holding off defensively. But there is still a chance for Reason. We saw Kita get a couple of kills there, so maybe he's going to get into the swing of things. He's going to start picking it up now, because that's really what he needs to do to get his team back into that. Because sometimes when you do have that one player who is struggling, it can be difficult for your squad, because you are essentially taking it 4v5.
Absolutely. Lumji, as you rightly said, to be able to hold on to that M4, and the rest of the team just going to be going a 5.7 coming through, P250 and an Eagle. But nothing too crazy coming out from them, and not actually opting to go for armor either. They're just sticking with the pistols, full on eco for this round, and then next round they'll actually be able to get a full convincing rifle buy off and maybe actually be able to close out the game. But Reason Gaming are actually snapping at the heels of Infused now. It isn't over just yet. They're only 6 rounds down. They're the ones with the economic advantage. They're the ones that are really snowballing this game in their favor at the moment. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. They do still have 6 rounds to get, and Infused just a single round away from victory.
They do, but they have 1-2 on the bounce, so momentum does start to begin rolling, and the worry will be Infused's head about overtime being a possible situation, as Red Snake will take that kind of defensive position again with the 5.7, which we've seen so much throughout this game. I really wanted to see something crazy coming out of Infused this round. It's essentially an eco. Obviously, they do have that M4, but I would have liked to see maybe an aggressive push just to try and catch Reason off guard. Why not? You've got 6 rounds to work with, so maybe something a little bit different. But Lumji is at this A site, and at the moment, the bomb is still kind of at spawn. So Reason are just kind of sussing out where this Infused lineup are, as Red Snake will be taken down thanks to a nicely placed Molotov from Connor. So now they have the advantage. I say that, but Weber is caught off by Jenko, so now we are back on even terms with both of these teams. And Reason really need to make a decision of where they're going to push. They are going to push through mid towards this A site. It does look like Infused have heard word of this because they're also moving towards A as well on the defense. But Lumji is taken down. That is a massive kill from Connor because he had the rifle. Roma managed to get a trade-off with Faitham, but he has only got that 5-7 to work with. And now Jenko is in a 1v2 situation.
He certainly is, and Jenko, very capable. He's got the AK in hands, and he already found Reason. He's looking to finish the game, but Keita, he's got his AWP. And we know how good Keita can be if he can find the shot, and he does. In fact, just using the Tech 9, doesn't even need the AWP for that one. Just connects the headshot, finishes off Jenko, and keeps Reason in the game. I thought for a second there that was going to be Jenko finishing things off, to be quite honest. Jenko has been so on point this game. 27 kills, 2 players on Infused, getting incredibly close to the 30 bomb right now. But the ecos have paid off, and look how much they've got to work with. The utility is there. Red Snake actually going with a glass cannon AWP here, and Dream with an AWP as well elsewhere on the map. And this could well be the end for Reason if they can't win out this round. But the AWPs won't be too effective if Reason can get into close quarters, and that's what they're looking to do already, as the A site is going to be the call. And the rest of Reason are actually not pushing up with the bomb. They're playing this one very split, kind of keeping their cards close to their chest, but the bomb is going to go down, and the action is going to kick off as Keita with the Tech 9 trying to do what he can, but Lumji doesn't manage to get the shot and will get taken down. Reason as well finds another one for himself, and suddenly Infused are on the back foot. Jenko, though, does answer, manages to get 1 kill for himself, and he's going to push over towards mid. He knows that there's a player down there, but he can't quite find his targets right now. The molly going through. That is going to hit Faitham, who does have to move now, but nice cover fire from Reason. He's going to trade that kill straight up. Headshot comes on out. Roma on the scene, but they're running out of time. The bomb is ticking away, and Roma, he's got to make it happen now or never. The smoke comes out. I think he's going to try and go for this one, but in fact, he's just going to try and get the duel. Reason wins that one out, and unfortunately, they do lose the AWP, though, to the bomb exploding. So not ideal for Reason, but another round on the trot. And suddenly, they're only 4 rounds down.
They are, and actually, we did say Keita is going to have to step up, and every round he has pulled something off now. He was only on 8 kills, now he's on 13, so he's finally showing up. That's 4 rounds on the bounce for Reason Gaming, and it will be starting to play in the heads of Team Infused now. Look, guys, let's not throw this away, okay? We've got 1 more round to eco. Then we really need to get this final round on the board to win this game, as Reason are moving towards B site. They are going to be taking it aggressively. The smokes and flashes will come down, but the defensive mollies are going to just delay them for a little bit, as Faitham does try and get the spray down, but Connor will finish him off for him as they now push onto the site. Connor gets another kill on Dream. Is that everyone on the site down? No, someone might be hiding in Chicken Hut, but Connor won't find anyone because actually they are just all rotating from A site now, and they can start to set up for these after plans.
Certainly can. Reason once more looking fantastic. Connor finding himself a headshot in that round. Roma will go down as well. And suddenly Lumji is all on his lonely lonesome. Does have that mag 7, but it's unlikely that he's going to be able to find anyone. Just searching for an exit frag at this point, but, you know, in this situation, is it even worth just saving a mag 7? It's kind of like, it feels dirty to try and save a mag 7, but it is going to be Lumji finding one. At least pays a little bit of cash for himself. Keita does trade that one back, but now, once more, we are going to see full back coming out. So the replay on Connor just basically decimating everyone on the site right there. Walking in with that AK. But suddenly, Infused, they're looking like they're sweating right now. They are not feeling comfortable at all. We saw them laughing earlier on, but I can see the players' faces and they are not happy right now. They know that they are 3 rounds away from overtime, and with how convincing of a lead they had, that's not a scenario that they want to entertain.
Nope, but they just need 1 round on the board, so they just need to stay calm, kind of grab those towels, dab themselves down, and really focus now. And the AWP from Dream is going to be very important, and we just see these defensive positions now as Reason are unsure about where they're going to push just yet, trying to get as much information as possible before pushing towards either site. The flash will come out from Dream as he is seeing if he can catch anyone out at B long. We can see because of the outlines where they are, but obviously he doesn't see them. There you go. That's what he will see when he is in game. Nice defensive approach with this AWP as well. I like this position here from Dream. But Reason taking things slow, which is what I like. It does look like they might edge towards drop down. There is no one to contest them, but they are actually going to back off. So they're just a little bit reluctant, a little bit cautious, which is probably what you need when you are only one round away from losing.
It is, but Infused, quite happy with the scenario right now. The time is ticking away, and they're just going to be holding these angles for as long as they want. Lumji, a very, very nice little spot for himself. And, you know, Lumji has been this star player, as well as Jenko, both of them on 29 kills right now. Searching for this 30 bomb, but also just searching for this first map. It's been so close. Does get flashed, but he will be able to find one. Turns it. No! Keita turns it around, and Batham finds two for himself. What just happened, Team Infused? It all fell apart. It could have been beautiful. But now there's just 2 CTs remaining, and the 4 terrorists have pushed onto the site, and immediately the call is made to hold on to these weapons. Infused can't afford to throw away the money at this stage in the game, and Reason, it's looking more and more likely that this gets pushed into overtime.
And I'm going to eat my own words. This has definitely been a T advantage on both sides right now. Just both teams pushing effectively, and it's just the rotations have been slow, and it's very difficult to push through mid once that bomb has gone down. Infused are going to try and hold these weapons as Dream does catch Weber off guard. Will slightly impact their economy, but I mean, Reason are actually in a really good position. Do you think we could possibly be seeing overtime here much?
I think it's obviously a very tough one to call, because the thing is, at the end of the day, what we've seen out of these two teams, especially at the start of the game, and this was just heartbreaking for Lumji. Gets flashed, does manage to get the first one, can't quite connect the spray to Keita, who turned it around and finished it off, but tactical pause coming out right now. Reason, obviously already used there, so this one is coming out from Infused.
With Reason winning 6 on the bounce, it does mean that Infused now will have money for every round if they do lose again. So they've got 2 rounds to work with here. And like I said earlier, I just want to see something a little bit different to try and catch Reason off guard there. They're allowing Reason to set the pace when really they should have been setting the pace on this CT side. It was very back and forth, but Reason eventually grasped control of this map. They've been pushing very effectively, a lot of methodical approaches, a lot of smokes and flashes to really push into these sites effectively.
But we are back into the game, so we should be able to transition back to this match for you guys, as it is going to be 13-15. The advantage still in favour of Infused. They've got the rifles to work with this time, and we'll see if they can just connect these final shots that will secure them the game. Dream with this AWP, interesting position coming out from him, and if we can connect these shots, might just be in a good spot to win this game. But Lumji finding the trade to make it 4 versus 4, and he's looking for the second one onto Reason, but he can't quite find his target, as Dream is going to be able to find Keita, gets a nice easy shot onto him, and it gives the advantage to Infused now. And actually, terrorist squad of Reason Gaming has to back away from the A site. They've changed their mind, and actually Weber's taken complete control of the B site. They can go for a rotation here. Weber is going to be more than happy to watch these entrances, and actually this is looking like Reason might be able to take this round.
Yep, they are going to be able to get onto the site. Infused need to do something very quickly if they're going to be able to stop this plant going down, but Weber is in a fantastic position to stop any sort of rotation. But Infused will be aware of this. Lumji needs to be very careful. He does get taken out by Weber. Weber will now look towards this drop-down area to see if he can catch out any more of these Infused players. The AWP in the hands of Dream gets a fantastic pick there on Weber. They will now push in together. They really need to work on their angles. They are going to take this round. Another amazing kill there from Roma, and Reason is left on his own. He just needs to kind of dance around as much as he can and try and delay this defuse from happening. He's doing fantastically at the moment. It does look like it might go for a ninja defuse as Reason picks up another kill with the AK, gets his pistol out, is taken down by Dream. Will he have enough time? Yes, he will. He's got a kit, and that will be the first game to Team Infused. Fantastic performance.
That was so much of a closer game than I ever expected it to be, especially at the start when we saw how one-sided it was looking. You know, we got into the second half as well, and Infused still felt like they had the advantage.